Today we're doing something a little differently. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite facets of fantasy in general, and that is mythology, whether you're adopting it from a source already or you're making up your own. Hi, my name is Kat the Crow-Winged Author here at the Magic Library, and we're going to be doing something a little bit different today in terms of writing craft. Okay, first and foremost, before we start the video, I have 3 announcements today. Well, 2 announcements and a shameless plug. We'll go ahead and get the shameless plug out of the way. If you are interested in paranormal dark fantasy, but a little bit of romance and a little bit of mystery, and of course a coup to overthrow the reigning monarchy with blood and gore, then you would definitely like my debut novel, Arborea Lux. Arborea Lux follows the journey of a young woman as she wakes up in a field alone with no memory of who she is, and she has to find herself as she journeys from the outskirts of the city of Obsidia Terma all the way to the royal estate, along with trying to find out what happened to a woman that she's having visions of. And this woman is in fact the twin sister of the Dampier who saved her. It's got elements of the supernatural in it. It's got vampires, it's got ghosts, it's got some semblance of magic where the visions are concerned and everything. But besides that, it's an all-around fun adventure, and it's a very fun little pseudo mystery. And if you guys enjoyed that, I would appreciate it if you took a look. I will have a link down in the description below, along with a link to Goodreads. So if you guys have bought the book and read the book, please put a review and rating down at Goodreads below. And that would just help me so much in getting my book out there and getting it rated and reviewed by others. So thank you guys so much for listening to that shameless plug. Announcement number 1 is actually to remind you guys to mark the date for this Friday, Friday the 16th. I am going to be holding another live stream, and that live stream we're going to be doing, we are mostly going to be talking about writing prompts, and it's basically going to be like a little writing group session, and I hope you guys will enjoy that. So remember, Friday the 16th, and it is going to be at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, so I hope you guys will enjoy. And for my second announcement, I will say this: I'm not exactly sure when this is going to be coming out, but it will be coming out possibly within the next month or so. I'm going to be opening a second channel to sort of pivot off of this one, primarily because it's sort of the same content, but it's going to be focused around one particular niche group, and that is going to be anime and manga. Anime and manga in and of itself is in fact a very interesting method of storytelling, and I don't feel like a lot of people talk about it all that much when it comes to in terms of storytelling. In all honesty, I can actually only think of one YouTuber that I actually watch that actually talks about storytelling, and that's also because he's also a filmmaker. So I'm going to be looking at anime and manga from a writer's point of view to see what exactly it does well, what exactly it doesn't do well, and of course I'll be just geeking out and fangirling over some of my favorites and everything. So if you guys are going to be interested in that, please let me know. I will be giving you guys more updates. And speaking of updates, please do me the awesome honor of subscribing and ringing that bell for more notifications about this channel, and also about that one when it's finally up and running. I'm going to be calling it the anime section, and let's just say that it's going to be a fun little side project to do. I'm not going to be doing a lot of content on that as opposed to this one, but but both channels are just going to be like for whenever inspiration strikes me. So yeah. And with that, let's get on to the video and talk about mythology, whether you're using elements of already created mythologies or creating your own. If this homemade mask is any indication, I absolutely love mythology, especially Japanese mythology and kitsunes and everything. If you are a certain role player friend of mine, you know how much I love foxes and everything. And I actually do have a project where I'm actually using a kitsune fox minor deity as a main character, and I probably need to work on that soon. Because I'm only on the story notes, but but this I created for a cosplay that I was doing that sort of goes off of that character, and this is how I imagine the mask to be. So yeah, and what's interesting about this character is that I actually created her mythology just spur of the moment. It was one of those many times of just amazing just world building processes that just came to me. So yeah. Creating a mythology, whether you're adopting elements of a mythology like Greek, Japanese, Norse, or Celtic, is very important, but it's just as important as creating a mythology yourself and just coming up with its own method and just coming up with its own methods. Usually these two are both sides and two sides of the same coin. There's not really a line that dictates one from the other, because a lot of people will actually adopt certain methods of existing mythologies to add into their own. And I'm certainly no different. When I created Arborealux and everything, the tree, the god's tree that I created for the book, that was particularly a odd little bit of Celtic mythology, a little bit of Christianity if you think about it, and also Norse mythology, because I used, of course, Celtic mythology for the imagery. I used Norse mythology for the apples and everything, sort of, and well, I can't necessarily say Christianity for the for that scene where she actually takes a bite of the apple. I can't actually say that, not really, but you get the point. The tree was a very important part of the mythology for my book and everything, and it was a very fun little element to create. When creating mythology and everything, you have to keep some things in mind, and one thing that you absolutely have to keep in mind is, do you really need a mythology? Ask yourself the question, is it going to be very, very relevant to the story? Now, whether this is a yes or no question, you might as well go in depth with it and use details along the way, because if you're going to be doing an expanded universe, sort of like I'm doing, then you're going to probably want to have to write it down. I'm actually doing something very, very weird for my little expanded universe. I'm actually going to be going back in time after I finish the Seraphim series to do Morningstar, and Morningstar is going to be basically the establishment of that mythologies for you that you see in Arborealux and in Anime Nexum, which is going to be the companion novel to Arborealux, and also the Seraphim trilogy, where you see some elements of it, but not all of it. But all in all, when you're doing this one little bit of world building, it's really sort of fun, because you get to look at how these methods are passed down from the first generation all the way down to present day, or stuff like that. It's just, there's fun little details that you get to work around and tweak with. This character that I created, for example, she was born from the spirit of a dying, grieving widow and her husband, who had been transformed into a white fox spirit by the god Inari, and he asked for the wish that she live, and he sacrificed himself again because he as a soldier sacrificed himself for his country, or his lord, and Inari was so touched by this that they fused both their souls, and they created a minor deity that was meant to grant wishes and also protect those who needed it. And of course, there is a dark side to all sweet and kind things. So overturned by grief was she that she ended up having a little bit of a dark side herself. But that's a little bit of a spoiler for that little story of mine, so I'm just going to go ahead and put this to the side. I'm sorry, I just really like the paint job I did on this. I bought the mask online, and then I just did the paint job, and I did the tassel work and the knots myself. So I really enjoy showing this off whenever I get a chance. So a piece of advice that I usually have whenever I talk about mythology and everything is that find elements in certain mythologies that you like and try to build off of that. Not necessarily take it word for word, sort of tweak it to your own way, but just have fun with it. In one of my stories called Heirs of the, it was called Kokutu, but I'm rewriting it to where it's called Heirs of the Fallen. I created a system where it is a bunch of fallen gods and a bunch of old gods. And the old gods all have these different traits and everything, and they're sort of really pushy, but all these old gods and these fallen gods are the ancestors of the people that you see in the story and everything. So it's very interesting to see what traditions and everything I just like clip in there every once in a while. I also created a mythology for another series or another story that I did, and it was the creation myth of 3 gods and the treachery of one that led to a prophecy. And that in itself was very interesting to write. For those of you who are in my D&D group, you probably know the creation myth already. It is the creation by way of Uara the deer, Lunari the wolf, and Arya the crow. Well, technically she's a raven, but I digress. It's just really interesting to do a story like that and everything, just to like add implements of a story, and it's one of those little bits of world building that you have to do aside from culture and methods and different methods like of commerce and everything. It's just like, it's one of those little things where it's like, if you have a mythology that you want to put into the story, definitely add it in there, but it's just, it's a weird gray area. I've known some people who don't do mythology at all. I've known some people who will do a mythology just for the fun of it and add in little sprinkles of it. I've seen one person actually do an entire mythology and actually do the story based entirely off of that mythology. So it's a little bit interesting. Some of it requires some research, some of it requires you to just do some like serious like brainstorming and everything. But at the end of the day, it's all part of that wonderful world building experience for you to create in your, for your story. Some tips that I have for this, for doing a mythology, like I said before, do your research on, certain mythologies that you like, and that the elements that you like from that you can like tweak and put into your own mythology, but just make sure it's all cohesive. And also keep in mind that it's just there is some sensitivity towards it all. It's better to be vague about where you got the information from, but at the same time not as so vague as to not pay tribute to it. Mythologies don't necessarily have to mean gods either. It could be just creatures that you come up with, that some could be shown in reverence, some could be that we should be in fear of, stuff like that. It's all part of the world building, and whether they are seen as deities or whether they're seen as beasts that your deities go up against in that mythology, it's just, yeah. I still maintain one of my favorite mythologies is going to be from Ellie Rain's Necroseme Chronicle series, primarily because I just absolutely love her books. Her books are just so much fun. And her mythology, the mythology that she has for that series and everything is interesting because there are 5 gods, and 2 of which are the parents and 3 of which are the children. And it's very interesting and everything to see how all that ties together. And you don't necessarily see a whole lot of it in the book. I mean, like the first time you really actually ever hear it all the way through is like in Pearl of Emerald. But it's just, it's fun to hear, it's fun to read it and everything to see where it goes. And I'm so afraid I don't have that much to actually contribute in ways of, actually offering advice and everything. I've still just woken up, but at the same time, it's like, I know what to do, but it's so hard to convey that into words. So if you guys have questions about it, you guys can ask me about it on the live stream on Friday. So I think that is going to be it for this video. So thank you so much for watching me or listening to me ramble to the end. If you guys liked this video, please click that like button, and also leave a comment down below with your thoughts. Whether I talk too much or I ramble too much about a certain topic, just let me know. I need the feedback. So yeah. If you liked my video and you want to see more, please consider subscribing and ringing that bell for more notifications. And please help me reach my goal of 100 subscribers before or by the end of the year. I'm already at 51 subscribers, and I did not think I would get to 51 subscribers. And it would be so amazing if you guys could help me reach towards that goal. It's an attainable goal. It's like a little baby step, but at the same time and everything, I know that it's just like, I know not a lot of people are wanting to be interested in writing, but at the same time, I ask that you guys please help me towards that goal, because this is my little journey that I want to share with everybody. And just, yeah. If you guys are interested in keeping up with my day-to-day life, whether it be writing projects, updates for here, or just absolutely life in general with all that's going on, please go down to my socials below and please follow. I have an author page on Facebook, I have a Twitter page, I have an Instagram, and I'm also on TikTok. I actually do need to put more stuff on TikTok. I need to start a TikTok campaign for my debut novel, and I hope you guys will go on there and enjoy if you have TikTok. I hope to see you guys on Friday for the live stream and everything. It's just going to be so much fun, and I can't wait to see everybody again, because we always have our fun with our little live streams and everything. It's usually a small turnout, but at the same time, it's just, I'm very glad that people are at least coming in and somewhat enjoying it. So yeah. I hope you guys have a very wonderful day. This is Kat the Current Author here at the Magic Library, and I hope you guys have not only a very wonderful day, but I hope you enjoy the rest of the content on the channel. Bye guys.